Hello, Meow Meows. Thank you for your time today.
We have many things to discuss in our third series, Self.
Discovering ourself through love and understanding.
Uncovering what gets in the way.
What are the love languages we value and how we communicate them?
Falling in love and getting married to you.
Finding a giggle in yourself today.
Creating a reality with passion and purpose.
Alrighty, Meow Meows, let's get connected with ourself. Hey.
Morning, Kat.
Good morning.
I think we're doing a lot better this week.
I think so too.
Yes.
We are part 2. Affirm a new reality. Affirm a new reality, bitch.
So let's say you want a better life, a better reality, better thoughts, but how do you actually make your brain better? Can you make your brain better?
And even, okay, I mean, like, we have to go into the concept of a better brain. What is a better or worse reality than the one you're experiencing now? So please know, throughout this entire episode, throughout any of our episodes, through this podcast in general, we can give advice of, like, you maybe should do this.
Suggestions.
All
of the suggestions.
It's totally subjective to you, though.
We can't make you do anything.
No.
Nothing.
And we honestly can't even say what you should do or follow these steps for a better life, because you have to decide what's important to you.
Yes.
So, if you don't value a relationship with yourself, honestly, anything we have to say is just going to go out the window.
And that's just fine, because it doesn't relate to you.
It doesn't
At
relate
this
to you.
moment.
We're probably not speaking to you directly. You're not our target audience.
And that's okay.
And that is okay.
But we'll always be here when we need
Say
you.
fuck the Meow Meows. Come back when you need us.
Fuck them. They make us mad. They trigger me.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Oh, I wonder why.
Please, you're just fine. I appreciate it. Give me all of it.
Give me all of it.
All of it. Okay, focus.
Anyway,
Where are we at?
Sorry. So that being said, it was so interesting. Last night I watched a podcast and I was like, this is perfect for today's episode. So it is the author of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I like it.
I know. His name is Mark Manson, and he is the best. He is the best.
You should send it to me.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be linked below.
Perfect.
Obviously.
I'll click.
So he was on an episode of Impact Theory, and he was speaking about how you create your own values, and he's not trying to answer questions for people. He's trying to ask better questions, proposing better questions they can ask themselves. And he says too, like, when you try and answer these things for people, you rob them of their experience and freedom to choose their own values. And fuck, if I just think that's so important. So I think before we can even go into this episode, you have to decide what is important for you. Now, the second thing we have to touch on is that when it comes back to beliefs and values, like, we had an episode on beliefs and values as changeable choices.
Of course.
Which I just think is so important because people need to know that it's their choice. Your beliefs are true for you, but they're not the truth. Abundantly important to know that for your entire life. But now what I've understood beliefs and values to be is it's really a collection of self-narratives over a period of time. This is another thing that Mark Manson talks about is he's like, we are just a collection of layers of narratives that build on top of themselves from our earliest experiences. So knowing that your beliefs are basically a reflection of your narratives, it's a very good place to start.
It's interesting. I like the word narrative as explaining it, because a narrative is just the story you're telling yourself, and a variety of those different stories, which is the variety of narratives, which I find so interesting. So let's go back and re-explain, what is a belief?
I looked up a definition for this. So defined by Google, a belief is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. And now if we follow this idea of, a collection of narratives, a collection of self-narratives, a belief is just something you've said enough times that you believed it to be true.
It's like believing I'm a cat.
Yep. And again, I said this in Beliefs and Values as Changeable Choices. I'm like, we're not kids anymore. We don't just believe things at face value.
No.
Now we have to work to change our beliefs.
It's our choice.
I mean, bruh.
We're the grown-ups now.
Of course it's our choice, but it is going to be harder.
But how do we choose a new belief?
And I think we choose to believe new beliefs.
Right.
First and foremost, you have to know you are choosing to believe a new thing. And you're kind of dismissing like whether it's true or not. Like you have to just let that go. Especially like if you're changing a belief of I'm a piece of shit to I don't know shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
like,
huge.
You have to choose. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to choose to believe it.
No idea. But the biggest thing is it absolutely takes time.
It does.
The biggest time of your life is giving yourself time.
Yeah.
To take your time.
And then I think it's the time of the unlearning because you have to accept that unlearning is going to be a process. And then I know for me, especially in this last year, 2020, I met myself with so much love and patience. And the only intention I set for 2020 was I am going to love the journey, the struggle, and the process no matter what. And what I didn't realize, especially in 2019, is that you can't learn in a state of stress. You can't learn when your body's in survival. Got that one from Dr. Joe Dispenza. But he says so beautifully that, you know, he's watched brain scans of people trying to meditate. And when you are in the emotions of the past, trying to fix yourself, trying to think yourself into a new reality, you always make your brain worse. You always make your brain worse. And I have to share this story. This beautiful meow, Maddie, sent me a message the other day.
Maddie.
And she was like, Kat, I have to tell you something. And I was like, what? And she was like, I didn't realize that you can't learn new things and you can't grow in a state of stress.
Oh.
And I was like, yeah, girl. And I was like, let me link you with this thought leader that I really love. His name's Joe Dispenza. And she was like, bitch, I am listening to Joe Dispenza right now. And I was like, bitch, yes. And it's funny because a year ago we worked at Blue Iguana together and she was having this freak out day. She had freaked out at someone and she was really embarrassed with herself for freaking out and flipping shit. And she was like, why do I do this? I'm so much like my dad. I need to stop being like my dad. And I'm so aware of it. And I just had to call my mom and just tell her all of these things. And, you know, I'm so aware. Why can I not change? And I was just like, Maddie, you are so aware. I don't think there's anything more you could learn. Have you tried meditating to just let the awareness actually like work its course?
With you? Yeah.
And I guess she took that to heart. She's like, she always like thanks me for giving advice, and I'm just like, thank you for listening. Like, and I'm so proud of seeing the way that she has like literally transformed her entire existence just by leaving that survival.
It's kind of crazy. And
I just had to share.
Of course. Why, thank you for sharing. And hi, Maddie.
And we know Maddie's listening, so just hi, Maddie.
Of course. So like you just said with her being like aware. So I think a good question that we both have come to is it your choice if you're not aware yet? And I think, of course, everyone is aware of this now, but it is your choice regardless. It's your choice depending on the circumstances, of course. Like the beauty of this podcast, the beauty of understanding it is your choice, and it is your choice to choose at any time.
Right.
Because if you're not ready yet, that's okay. Mm-hmm. And if you are, beautiful. It is here whenever you want. Literally, it's a bulb hanging on the light. All you have to do is just grab it.
Well, and it's, you know, we say this all the time, but it's not to invalidate how hard it is to choose something different.
We're all on different levels.
Right.
All on different levels. So it's going to be difficult for some and easy for others.
Right. But please know that, us coming back to it's your choice all of the time is because there is so much freedom and beauty in recognizing, oh, I do have the choice. It's empowerment. It is literally empowerment, and it's taking back your power. So, I think I would tend to agree that it is your choice, even if you're not aware yet, but please don't be hard on yourself.
Don't shit on yourself
if you weren't ready to make that choice. Because it's equally as valid to be like, yes, you have the choice, but I'm not ready to make that choice yet. Does that make sense?
And that's okay.
That is so okay.
Because you're not there yet.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's okay.
But when thinking about creating a better reality for yourself, first and foremost, we have to be like, it's your choice. And we can't say what a better reality is for you.
No, because that's up to you and your choices to create that reality. We just are here to meow and say hi.
We're just here to meow and say hi. But I think, yes. Another thing that Mark Manson said in this episode is, the choice, we might not be in control over our actions, our emotions, our thoughts, but yet we still do have the choice of how we interpret that.
Right.
So you might not be in control of what's pushing your emotions, but you are in control of your interpretation of it. Again, this comes back to the story you're telling yourself and self-narrative. Basically, it's kind of a reframing, if you will.
So how does this relate back to self? Sorry, you're drinking a drink.
I think separately from the first episode that we did, the human brain and self-hatred part 1.
Yes.
Where we're like, your brain is not you. Like, what we're trying to emphasize is that it doesn't actually relate back to yourself. Not really. It's not an accurate representation of you whatsoever. However, here, it's kind of like you are taking initiative to be a better version of yourself. And so it's like you're using the 5% of your conscious mind against the 95% of your subconscious mind. And you still have the choice in that 5%. Of course, you're against the rest of your body. And of course, you're going to have to put in an entirely new habit. But you are the one making that choice. You are the one initiating a new future. You are the one initiating the new self of you. And it's kind of like, again, Mark Manson said this. He's like, it's the negotiation between the two sides of yourself. Working with your emotions and leveraging your emotions, using the feeling part of your brain to your advantage rather than fighting against it. Like, oh, I don't feel like working out. I'm dreading working out. I don't want to do it. You have to leverage motivation. You have to initiate that motivation and be like, man, I just watched a bunch of yoga videos. All them bitches looked so hot on Instagram. Oh, yeah. I could look that hot. I got to keep working on it every single day. And I don't get on my yoga mat because I'm crazy about doing yoga. I don't. It's because I have leveraged the thoughts. I have leveraged the future I want against my unwillingness to do it today. And so start having these conversations with yourself. Like this morning, we didn't necessarily want to record, but we're fucking here.
Hi.
We're gonna record. We would be off track if we didn't.
Yep. And
that is how you leveraged the future you wanted to create against what your brain wanted to do right now. Yeah. And I feel like it's kind of marrying two parts of yourself, the higher part of you, the present part of you, and then this human brain that we have to work with. We have to work through the human brain to have a human experience. And it's just a necessary part of being a human. Like, we don't get to avoid the human brain and have a human existence. We just don't.
No, we don't. Even if we decide to end that, which is where you're at, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're going to go to something different.
Yeah. Truly.
If you believe in reincarnation, but that's another podcast.
It is another podcast. But I was going to say, so, we've touched on a few different things, but, the idea of creating this new reality, and you've made the choice, I do want to create a new reality. You've made the choice to love the process and to give yourself patience and love through it. Now, as you actually start to cultivate that vision of who you become, think about what is the reality, the version of you, the energy, the thoughts, the emotions, the most badass future version of you. What would that version of you need to believe about themselves? They'd need to believe that they were deserving of the things that you have. They would need to believe that they are worthy of the change that they create.
Just as some examples, because we can't tell you what.
No.
We
can't.
But
But
thank you. That's so beautiful.
yeah.
I always enjoy your words.
Oh my gosh. Thanks.
So yourself is your choice. Clearly, we've made that abundantly clear. And it's entirely up to you and entirely in your control. Of course, if you want it. Of course, if you want it and you're ready. But who do you want to be? Kat.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you want to be?
I want to be loving awareness. I want all of my actions and reactions to be entirely based in love. I want love to be the forefront of my actions, my reactions, my behaviors, my thoughts, and my feelings. I want to be loving awareness.
I love that. That's so cute. Because literally, same. I want to be loving awareness.
Yeah.
I want to be the existence of love and energizing my love while sharing it with those who deserve it. And having those boundaries, of course.
Of course.
The person that's continuously growing, but having those set boundaries of no and yes. And full of just genuine compassion and understanding for everything that's in my life. I just want to be loving awareness.
Loving awareness.
It's beautiful.
I love that we're both working on that separately but together.
I know, it's so funny because we already had like our own ideas of who we want to be kind of laid out ahead of time to be prepared because that's important. And I like start typing out all my stuff and I look and see what she has and I'm like, oh, that's literally what we both wrote.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
We literally both wrote the same thing, which I love because I love having a friend that I can work towards this with.
This is incredible, an incredible experience. And I understand that not everyone's going to be there. Girl, I wasn't there. And then I met you and I'm like, oh my God, who are you?
Well, and I mean, how many people have you met with a clear intention of becoming loving awareness?
No.
I mean, some people think that personal development and personal growth is about becoming a millionaire
or working out or
yeah, like, how am I going to have the body of a model or the bank of an influencer? And I'm just like, bruh, I just want to be in loving awareness.
I want to be here. I want to be here. I want to be here.
Yeah, and that is what I work towards every single day.
And I love that. You always ask the right questions when they're needed.
I try. Yeah, and I mean, of course, those go into the little things that I want to work on because I want to be an excellent communicator. I want to be a thought leader. I want to be the person who asks you the questions that you need to hear. Not because I'm some profound fucking guru, but because I'm just like, I needed to hear these questions.
Yep.
And if someone would have just given me a fucking second of a fucking day to be like, Kat, why do you hate yourself so much? Or Kat, why are you in such survival? Kat, why are you putting all this suffering on yourself?
You would have had a completely different
I
way
would
of
have
thinking.
had a completely different reality. And maybe I wasn't ready yet. Maybe I couldn't have received that.
Exactly.
But that's why we are directly talking to the people who are ready to hear it.
And we're always going to be here. We're not going anywhere.
We're not going anywhere. And, the next time you hop in, we're going to be one step closer to the loving awareness that we are trying to hit.
Always growing. Always connecting. And
growing.
Always communicating.
I love fucking growing with you.
Me too. It's grand.
Yeah.
And it feels so good.
It
feel good.
So good.
Feel goods.
So a huge wrap up of the human brain part 2, Affirm a New Reality. It is your choice. It is a process. but it's possible.
It is.
And then it goes right back to it's your choice.
Exactly. Alrighty, you lovely meows. We love you deeply, and we thank you dearly for joining us in our journey today.
Subscribe to the 6AM Meow Meows to get notifications for future episodes. If you wish for more meows in your life, you can connect with us on Instagram for questions to ask yourself, writing prompts, as well as tips and tricks related to today's episode. And, of course, cats.
If you're more of a visual person, find us on YouTube for the video version of these podcasts. Or you can join the conversation on Facebook. Share what you think, what you learned, or something you would like to add to our discussions.
To get in touch with us, or if you have any questions, email us at the 6am meow at gmail.com.
And all of these links will be listed below, so just scroll on down to get connected.
As always, we are learning through this journey, so your comments and perspectives are a fundamental part in helping us gain understanding and shifting our current realities.
Again, thank you for your time, and have a perfect rest of your day. Goodbye, beautiful meow meows.
Goodbye!